Hello. Today, both the company's ideas, yeah, that's hilarious. All right. Today we have a pretty laid back, chill objective. I want to image some floppies, and we're going to try out some different software that I've never seen before in its current iteration, because I thought that would be kind of cool. But I also wanted to show off an idea I had for something that just kind of makes a ton of sense. It's a little difficult to implement, but it really works. So I'm just going to take a little step back. I'm going to use my phone here to change the camera angle. Okay, this is the Mac that we were working on. All right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. Because, you know, normally what I would do is if it was something sketchy or new, I would grab my power strip thing here and I would flick that in my hand. But then I'm still like, you know, not able to just easily go grab a fire extinguisher if something happens. And I realized what the answer is. I just need to treat it like I dream of Jeannie. Boom. Now, I actually had this idea where I was like, you know, normally people nowadays...
They've subscribed for 49 months. End of line.
Wesley, thank you for the Prime sub. And for 49 months, that's that many, I think. Oh, yeah. You can't sign Prime sub. That's what he just did. Okay, so I had the idea of, like, you know, normally people who stream...
100 you definitely wouldn't look as good as MS Eden in the Genie outfit. End of line. Then love the box, subscribe with Prime. End of line.
Let me just get rid of that so you don't have to listen to that high-pitched ringing. Okay, if you let me have a moment to continue here. Okay, so normal people would get like a smart outlet thing and call out like, hey, always on privacy defying internet service, turn on thing, right? And then I thought, you know, what would be cool is if I got a clapper, because that would be hilarious. And then I realized, you know, it'd be smarter than a clapper and probably exists, a foot pedal. So these are actually meant for like workshops to be able to turn dangerous equipment off and on. So with this, boom, easy. So that's the new way for turning on and off sketchy equipment. way more sensible. Is that a latching? Yes, it is. It does latch, yes. So
100, I have remote sockets. They use 433 MHz rather than internet access. Yes, there's a hammer by the printer too. End of line.
Chloe. So yeah, inside of this cover, there's just a regular old micro switch. There's nothing special about it. This is all metal. It's expensive. It's like $30 for that thing for some reason, but it's really nice. Now, latching, never seen a latching one? Yeah, so what they're thinking of are momentary contact switch versions, which I have 2 of on the way. I got your thing, Dziak. I ordered them at the same time. They're coming from different destinations. I've got 2 more momentary ones because I'm going to put the vacuum on one. That way I can just pick up the thing and press down on the pedal and vacuum stuff, and it'll be way easier rather than dealing with the power center thing. And then I'm going to have a second one that'll just be floating. I'm going to run an extension cable back here, and then say I'm using the Dremel or the hot air station or something where I don't want it to be on for extended periods of time. I'll have that pedal hooked up. I'll stomp on that, use the thing, and then it'll power off when I'm done. So that's the plan. But the latching one, which there really are not a lot of options for that, made a lot more sense for this kind of stuff. So yeah. Is it noisy? Where'd you get it? Because I've been using cheap Christmas light foot switch for cues. Oh, Amazon. What do you mean noisy? Do you mean like clickety clack? Like how much physical sound? So I'm not, it's literally a micro switch here. I guess we'll just open it. You guys, if you're that curious about it, I'm going to hold this to the side. I'm going to turn it off. That way you can hear it a little more distinctly. Dead man switch for danger tools. That is what the other ones are, the momentary ones. So it's weird. It has this outlet thing that just passes power through. I do not like this, but that's, you know.
They gifted a total of 45 in the channel. End of line.
And Dora Fox, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate that.
Subscribe for 7 months, currently on a 7-month streak. End of line.
And then the sub yourself for 7 months. I really appreciate that. Chloe, I don't think I said it. Thank you for the 100 bits. And it didn't catch on to me that you use 433. Smart. Isn't it 415 where you are, though? Click it with your microphone near it. Yeah, well, here, let me show you, because there's more to this than what you're thinking. Because if it's noisy, you can fix it. I want you to understand that 433 is global standard. It's ISM, yes, but the range is slightly different, isn't it? That's why, say, cell phones have different bands. 915, that's the one that's different? Oh, okay, that might be what I'm thinking. Throw a towel over the Christmas light switch to muffle the click. Yeah, I just want you to understand exactly why the noise does not necessarily matter in this. I will give you the noise in a moment, but I want you to understand what this is. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of like this thing. It is
128 something very subbing. End of line.
It's literally just a micro switch. So if all of the sound and noise comes from this, it's all that. Now this only springs because of this, and this, I mean, it does move slightly, but all of the sound comes from that thing and moving this chassis. So if the noise isn't that bad, replace this. But here, I will put the cover back on, which has a water gasket, by the way. I'll put the cover back on and then click clack sounds. So you could also, you know, spray that full of foam or something too to make it even quieter. Yeah, I really like that it's kind of repairable. Didn't you previously have a foot pedal? Nope, I have never had a foot pedal. I mean, digitally, yes, that are USB for the computer, but not just straight power. I am star patterning this since it actually has a gasket. Gasket got used today too, because this didn't quite exactly fit well in my laptop bag. Okay, and now, actual sound. I'm going to put this slightly farther away so it's not horrifically exaggerated. It's really, really not that bad. Like if I put it... Yeah, all of the sound is the switch itself. So, yeah, I would say for audio use, it's probably not bad.
At tier 1. They've subscribed for 2 months and says CACTUS 204 spin. I need one of those to reboot my XT. End of line.
Secret, thank you for the 100 bits. And Endora Fox, something very subby. Thank you for the 128 bits. Thank you for the 2 months, Sneakers Net. See, hoping the end stop is part of the noise. So it does. Whoops. Sorry, Mac. Let me turn that off. So it has a screw here to set the depth, and there's the spring for controlling that. So if you could put a rubber cap on that too, if the operator stomping it is making a noise. So honest, it's really kind of awesome. Maybe the $30 really isn't that bad. I'll link it to you after stream, DZAC. If I don't, poke me about it. I'll remind you. And remind me and I'll get it to you.
100, it has a screw. Lucky switch. End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Good click for switch. No audio issue. Not so quiet. You have to ask yourself if it's working. Yeah. The only thing I wish is that it had a light on to indicate whether or not it was powered, because you have no way of knowing. That I don't like. You know, you already found it and ordered it. All right. Darn, now I don't get the Amazon affiliate link. Use an IP-enabled switch doesn't connect to the internet. Yeah, but it's explicitly for, oh God, it's on fire. I don't want to have to think internet service, shut off thing, and then wait. I want to just smash. Didn't order yet, so I'll wait for the affiliate link. Okay. Yeah, anyway, that's it. I thought that was pretty cool. I like it. Like I said, I got 2 more that are the momentary ones coming for the vacuum cleaner and whatever other random stuff. But yeah, I thought this one was really nice for just testing stuff. I was hoping to find a breaker box as well, but oh well. I guess I could add a fuse to that now that I'm thinking about it, though. Ooh, I will be doing that. Yeah, I will find an inline fuse that we can put in the box. Boom. Perfect. If you put a neon bulb in parallel, light it up, and bulb to the switch, light it up when it's off. Why would I light it when it's off? Add LEDs? Well, I could, but it's not just, it's 120 volts going through it. It's not like, you know, a microcontroller doing it. Yeah, there's enough space there to do some stuff. The downside to adding a light is that I have to puncture the case. I don't really like the idea of doing that. The case is actually pretty nice. Yes, do a fuse. You can coordinate what pops when. Exactly. Wire probably does not have a neutral. Actually, on that, okay, maybe I should have looked in there or shown you a little more before we closed it up. It has ground coming. You know what? Screw it. Let's open it. Apparently, this stream's going to be looking at this switch instead. It has ground going into it. And I wanted to check that now that I'm remembering, because I wanted to add another banana jack to that for connecting my ground strap so I could put it on my ankle and have it actually be grounded down below. Because I thought that would be pretty sweet. Okay, let's crack it open one more time. They want to look at a switch, yeah. Did the Mac adventure work out? Been a working time? Yeah, actually perfect. There'll be a video about it tomorrow. Yeah, I would like to test a couple of things about how this works. I mean, it has a diagram on the side, but like, you know. Don't forget, put high voltage 1 meg resistor in series with the ESD strap. I mean, it doesn't have that built in. Isn't that in the handpiece? Okay, so here we go. We've got whatever this is, unsure. It says live and neutral, or no, it says live. It's apparently going to live on there. And then we have actual ground. Now, I was curious how the actual ground is wired and what I could tap for that. So let's do some continuity tests here. You want it to be extra safe? All right. And then before we put it all back together, I'll see if I actually have a wire fuse holder. Okay, so actual screw. Okay. And then these are even...
At tier 1. They've subscribed for 38 months, currently on 11 months streak. And says hi. End of line.
Digitalized Age, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 38. 38 months there. Yes, I appreciate that. Hey. So yes, that is correctly going to the ground plug, but does it also? Oh, it does go through to everything else. Okay. So I could potentially tap ground. Can I get it from this? Ooh, okay. So the whole thing is grounded. So we could do that. All right, let me check and see if I have a inline fuse. Because if we could do that right now, that would be sweet. The chances are very bad that I do have one, just for the record. That won't have been something I bought. It will just be something that came in some random garbage that I got. Let's see. And it looks like the answer is no, which again, not surprising. Yeah. All right. Now the question, do I get automotive blade fuse ones or do I get Bussmann fuses? Automotive blade fuses could, in theory, be easier to replace locally if I needed to. What's today's adventure other than Chinesium foot switch? I would not really call it that Chinesium, actually. It's kind of nice. Automotive fuse is only rated for 32 volts. Bussmann is the devil. See, we got conflicting concepts there. I think I'm going to go with Bussmann, though. Unless I'm wrong, and Bussmann... No, Bussmann is the ones that are in this, isn't it? Yeah, I want just a glass fuse. Just whatever regular glass fuse. Not because it's easier to get, but because you can get it in more variety so that I can more tightly control what it is. So that'll let me get like an 8 amp fast blow that I could put in this, which would make sure that it guarantees blows that before anything else upstream. A light for on when you need extra wire in that cable using ground, neutral, neon. Yes, but again, I would have to put a hole in this aluminum cover.
They've subscribed for 52 months, currently on a 52-month streak. End of line.
Green Source, thank you for the tier 1 sub there and for 52 months. I appreciate that. Digital Ice Age, no, this is already, it's not a dead man switch. This is momentary. This is a latching micro switch in here. You just buy this off Amazon, boom, turnkey, ready to go. But I was trying to demonstrate, it also is grounded. So if you wanted to ground strap to your ankle, this would be at ankle level, so your hands are clear. And then I'm going to add a fuse in here, maybe on this side or something. That way, this can be both the emergency stop for powering weird, sketchy stuff, and the blow point. And it'll be easy to, you know, integrate it into there without having it be a risk in other ways. Give me the first USB scanner ever, possibly, an old LCD monitor. Oh, that's cool. Ankle monitor ground, yeah. So yeah, I have a drill. Yes, I have a drill. I don't particularly want to put a hole in the cover is what I'm saying. I'm not really crazy about doing that myself. I kind of like that it's watertight. Since it's going to be at the bottom of the floor. And I'm going to be doing stuff, you know, around it. Good luck drilling that? Nah, that would be, well, it could crack. Because it's definitely like a pop metal kind of situation. So anyway, yeah, I'm not really crazy about drilling this. I don't think I want to do that. So, yeah, probably not. What I could end up doing, I could put a power strip on this, and then that light would indicate that it's powered. I don't know. There's options. Planning on spilling coffee on it? Do you ever plan on spilling coffee? Speaking of which, coffee. Anyway, let's put the cover fully back on. Yeah, I really like this. Power strip with a fuse. Power strips with fuses do exist. They're not super common. Also not super common, okay? I was surprised by this. There's no, like, pack of extension cables, power extension cables you can get that just come in, like, different colors. Like, I wanted to have an extension cable run up for the momentary, or the locking one. They call this maintain, by the way. It's really stupid. Anyway, the latching one, I wanted one for the momentary one, and then I wanted one for, like, always powered. But I guess I'm just gonna have to put labels on them instead, because you can't get them in different colors. Put rubber O-ring. I know, I could do that, but I'm gonna be, like, hot gluing it on the inside. I might be able to find a, like, panel mount connector thing. I don't know. I'm just not really crazy about it. Like, different sheathing colors, you can get PVC in different colors. Like, this is PVC in beige, this is PVC in black. You know, you can get PVC in red. There's all kinds of different colors you can get cables made in. I just thought it would be nice to have different colored cables for that. So, all right. Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of becoming team light right now because, like, I don't know if it's on right now, so I was like, let me just go grab a fan so I can plug it in so I can see if it's on or not. The answer was no, it's not on. And now it is. Man, that thing just, like, chucks air. This would be another good use case for the momentary foot pedal. Soldering iron, not so much. Especially the Metcal. It kind of does its own thing. I would not want to be starting and stopping that all the time. Although this for the Metcal would be kind of nice because the transformer is always on. Even when the hard power switch is off, the transformer gets power. I don't really want to spend like $500 on foot pedals, though. We're going to send the message again. Celgen built something exactly like this. Foot pedal keeps it on. Oh, okay. Cat smokes. You flinch. Your foot goes. Yes. So Digital Ice Age, you can just buy those. They're meant for power tools. They just exist. So this one being latching was actually an intentional choice. Because let's say it is the Mac here. All right. I turn it on the first time and it's fine, okay? I don't need to turn it off again. I don't really want to be stuck where the foot pedal is and then have to like make sure that I maintain good pressure on it while I then, you know, like do stuff or whatever, and then I'm fixed in one place here, especially while I'm live. So I would rather have it be latching for this use case, and then it's just going to be off to the side. So, okay, next week you have a whole row of pedals on the floor, not at $30 a pop. So anyway, all right, today's actual objective though is about Fluxengine. Let's go do that. While I'm over here though, I'll go ahead and link the thing for everyone, since there is interest here. Workstation. That's server. We don't need to look at that. Or that. Or that. Just one moment. Let me Amazon over on the other monitor. Here, you can look at this. That's Fluxengine. We're going to look at that in a moment. Don't break the keyboard. Break the keyboard. Here for some other than foot switch? I know, right? All right, hold on. Get link. Easy. I'm just gonna put it in. Said no guitarist ever. I'm gonna put it in TT Live. All right, there you go. There's an affiliate link. One moment.
Raiders.
Okay, there we go.
Genko Tech have joined. End of line.
Majeko and Raiders, hello and welcome. I'll also go ahead and link the momentary one for tomorrow when I have them. That way I don't have to answer multiple questions. One moment, computer's being slow. There we go. Alrighty. Fluxengine. There we go. Yeah, I really like the idea of the foot pedal for powering stuff. All right. So, we have looked at the Fluxengine software before. I don't know if I still have it on here. I bet I do. No? Okay. So previously, Fluxengine, let's see if Google will bring up what that looked like. Fluxengine, images. Yeah. Previously, Fluxengine looked like this. All right. Estimated to deliver tomorrow. All right. I'm curious what you think of it. I really like it. I should get, hold on, I'm just gonna real quick, inline fuse. I'm just gonna throw an inline fuse thing in my Amazon cart so that I, excuse me, remember to actually buy one there. It's Bojack brand, so it's gonna be depressed. Okay, I have one of those off-the-shelf pedals, built his with ridiculous amp specifications. His mainframe calls for, oh, well, yeah, I'm not doing that. This is just 10 amps. So if you go back and rewind the VOD Digital Ice Age, you'll see inside of that is a standard off-the-shelf micro switch. Well, I mean, it's a switch. I don't know if it's counts as micro or whatever. Why is there Minecraft nonsense coming up here with whatever? TT affiliate link permanently saved for when I impulse buy dumb stuff at night. Anyway, this is what it looks like now. All right. So I'm curious to look at this because there is sector visualization, which is really handy. I don't see how you do file management, which was one of the big benefits to Fluxengine. So I'd like to see that, if that's still in there and everything. I don't know if there's a way of getting to the GitHub repository from there easily. So let's do this. With the new UI, I'm curious how you feel about it. Oh, interesting. That's not, and I really liked it. Oh, that's weird. It's not. Are we gonna have to compile it? Huh. Okay, first off, I gotta take off the overshirt. It is actually raining today, and holy moly, it is humid and hot. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. To a limited extent, applesauce? Hold on. Whoa, wait a minute here. I was not aware of this at all. The interface, this ImGUI, I love that imhex created, I'm pretty sure imhex created ImGUI, right? And that it gets used for like literally everything now. Like, I've got my laptop over here in theory, maybe, but not actually really installing Skyrim mods. And even that's going to use imhex or ImGUI. It's crazy. It's older than imhex, is it? Why are they crediting? I don't know. Anyway, okay, applesauce. Applesauce works rather differently with Fluxengine hardware. Yes. Okay. What works? Simple reading of disks, seeking, erasing disks, hard sector. Oh, with Grease Weasel. Okay, but apples. Okay, rather than streaming, applesauce works rather differently. Yes. So caveats. Streaming Flux data drive applesauce has fixed buffer in RAM used to capture complete image of a track. It's downloaded later. Okay. New UI is built on top of imhex almost directly. Oh, interesting. That is. Wait, no, I don't think. Wait, hold on. That, are they just editing the same one over and over? Also, I love the just get good Linux users. Okay, so we're compiling it. Got it. I want to know more about applesauce, but let's make sure we can make this work at all. All right, Fluxengine. Guessing this uses imhex. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, here we go. Git clone. Is there anything weird? Do I need to do like git submodule, recursive, whatever nonsense? Let's see. Fluxengine, hardware, warehouse, or building thing. By the way, GitHub started doing this. I don't know what the deal is, like what actually makes this happen. So you can click this and then it'll like tab over to another markdown on the home page, but it's not recognizing like copying. So I don't know what makes it do that or not. The chapters is weird. How have I never noticed that? Why doesn't it automatically put that on the sidebar? That would be like, you know, a good thing to have in this wasted space over here. Anyway. My main problem with applesauce is that it's still trapped on Apple computers. I am never going to buy a Mac, so I'm never going to be able to use an applesauce unless this actually works with it. Okay, well, I'm not building Fluxengine software. Here we go. Alrighty. For Linux, C, Docker. Curious. Okay. You used to daily drive a Mac? No? You were probably thinking of someone else. CLI is pretty generic, libUSB. Next, I'll use build by just doing make. Okay, well, that's easy enough. Do not run. That was actually easily superseded by the Microsoft Surface that I now use, because that was just I need a laptop that has like an actual battery and not my real laptop I use that is a gaming laptop with a GPU. So no, I did not daily drive that. Okay, so we apparently just run make. And I'm going to be all fancy pants. Remember to add a J. Boom. Tech rotations, yeah. Audio died for a second? Oh, I don't know what to tell you. I'll just, well, those are a lot of things we need. I'll say it again. I do own a MacBook. I have no idea what version it is. I bought it to try and compile some Apple software when I was working in 2015. And it was not new then. And I didn't end up actually needing it for work, but I bought it myself for reasons. So I ended up keeping it, and then it just sat around. And then eventually I realized I could just put Linux on this, and then when I need a computer that is like actually battery powered, because I always personally use big, giant, fancy gaming laptops, because battery life is not really that useful when you don't go anywhere that doesn't have power. So I just tend to use those. So the MacBook was just when I need a low power laptop to use, and that would almost always be the things that I would demonstrate in videos. So you got a disproportionate expectation for what I may have used that computer before. Really, this is the kind of laptop that I use. Yeah, this is completely felt. Actually, I'm going to shut this down while I'm looking at this. Hold on. Let's just kill this. All right. So yeah, no, I never daily drove a Mac. And it absolutely did not have Mac OS. Matter of fact, I was always a little concerned about how I'd ever get Mac OS back on it, and then I realized I don't care. Okay, required packages, something or another. Yep, that's a lot of packages. Let's see. That's long. Let's see. CLI, pretty generic libUSB stuff. GUI base, mhex will work wherever mhex does. Supports Fluxengine, some Linux. See Docker files. Beautiful. That's everything. Boom. All right. Forgot about the videos where there was a MacBook. Yeah, like the TRS-80 DT1 would have existed. IP not found. What do you mean IP not found? Ping google.com. Okay. That doesn't seem like a real IP. Misread the error. Not found. Wait, is my... Oh no, really? LSB underscore release dash A. sudo apt update. No, we still got real archives. It hasn't booted me out yet. Well, that was weird. Okay, sure, why not? I've never actually had the database be outdated, but this is probably the only computer that I use consistently that I don't have to, like, change stuff on all the time, so that kind of makes sense. Okay, now make -J16. Boom. We could probably crank that number way higher since this is a Threadripper, but we'll just do that. All right. Put my laptop away while that compiles. I played with a Mac. When are we going to have a SunSpark system on stream? I don't own one of those secretly, so that will never happen. So, don't get your hopes up. Have I ever? I guess I've never used a Mac on stream before, huh? Vintage or not. Didn't even occur to me. And we didn't even really use it. Literally the only thing I did the whole time with the Mac is turn it off. I mean, I guess we browsed files once. Yeah. Cody, I don't see that really happening. I've never seen one pop up for sale. They were always too niche. It really is built directly on MHEX. Huh. It was always too niche, so it's not like, you know, someone's got one sitting around in their basement. I mean, someone does, obviously, but the person is very uncommon. So, yeah. TAM? I guess. I don't really count that. That's kind of its own thing. Like, I wouldn't count a Macintosh XL if I had that either. I've actually never seen a single Sun.
They've subscribed for 24 months and says, "Oh boy, 2 whole years by your command."
Remy, thank you for the Prime sub and for 24 months. I appreciate that. I've never seen a Sun, an SGI, what's that other one? There's another company that made Risk nonsense. Yeah, whatever they were. I've never seen any Risk stuff. So, yeah. Hyperbaric chamber instead, yeah. I feel like I'd have an easier time finding a Next. Actually, I think there is a Next, or was a Next on Craigslist. I wasn't thinking IBM, but they probably did. 100 years later, it's almost done. It's only got 11 packages left. Or files, or whatever. Objects. Yeah, Endorofox, that's never what anyone means, though. That is super cool, Helicroft. Okay, Fluxengine GUI. Fluxengine GUI. Boom! What's up? Why is it, like, semi-transparent? That's weird. I don't like that. Can we not do that? Also, can it work and not say MHEX? Oh, wait, ARM 64? I didn't even pay attention to the ARM part. What ARM 64 computer do you think I've used? Because no, I have not. Unless you're counting my phone, but no. Yeah, so that's done borked. Raspberry, I wouldn't count that. At least not in the ways I've used it. Nah. Yeah, that's no different than my phone. I don't count that. For the point you are trying to make, at least. Okay. Welcome to MX 0. Error. Loading plugins. Fonts. Okay, let's see if I got anything about fonts in this. Okay. Building. Control F. Font. No. This. Debian. Okay. Font. Nope. Valid ROM FS resource path. File fonts. It'd be really cool if my scroll wheel could work. You know what? Hold on. I'm curious. Zev. Yeah, no, it's just screwed. Oh, that fixed it. Okay, there we go. Oh, man, I can scroll again. That's crazy. Okay, boom. Where's this Lang thing? That's what I want to know. Build. Extras, no. Lib, no. Scripts, no. Source, GUI, no. GUI 2, MHAX overrides, no. No. Oh, that's just what SGIs look like, these yak. I don't know what you're talking about, Digital Ice Age. I'll say this. I didn't find that in Arizona. This is what I thought this was initially. What on earth? Okay, yeah, that's not what I thought. I was gonna say, yeah, SGI stuff kind of came from that era of plasticky, metallic looking stuff like they used all over DS9. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing about fonts here. I got no idea. Unless that's like, there's no Lang folder at all that I can see. Tree. Sudo apt install tree. See, can I do this before anyone else types a command in chat for fuck files? Okay. Clang, Lang tool, pattern Lang. Okay, so that's what we want. Lang tool, what? Lang tool.py. So that's in something weird. Ugh, I hate find. I've said it before. The XKCD comic should have been about find, not tar. Tar's easy to know how to use. Find is insane. I'm yeah. All right. Wow, this is R. It's just R. Okay, sure. Imhex, plugins. Which one complained? Loading plugins, fonts. Okay, fonts, ROMFS, languages. Okay. Here is the solution. Problem solved. Let's make sure the US one, whatever, is using like normal nonsense. That's probably included. That'll work. Okay. Now we'll try and recompile. Make clean. Cool. Does actually work. You don't have to use find and Ultrix. Find dot works fine. Find dot name foo doesn't. Because you provide something like dash name, you also have to manually add print, or it doesn't print anything. Oh, does was that meant for like shell scripting, where that's how you would check if a file exists or not? So I assume you would only look at the return code. Is that what that is? Dash J, let's get spicy, 32. Oh, man. Yeah, so for example here, all right, ls files, okay, but what you can also do is echo $? The return code was 0, okay? So now if I ls folder that is not here, okay, cannot access, and now the return code, which is also printed to the shell here, is 2. So I'm assuming that the exit code, return code, however you want to think about it, is what that find command was being used with, but that's hilarious. Man.
86 RAers from T2 SDE have joined. End of line.
T2 SDE and Raiders, hello and welcome. We are currently attempting to compile this software here, which is called Fluxengine, which is a GUI that should allow us to more easily work with floppy disk imaging. However, man, GitHub is kind of dumb here. But compiling this is a little complicated, it turns out. So we got some weird language stuff, fonts, issues going on. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to compile this yet. So we're still kind of figuring it out. But yeah, the goal is to get that running so that we can have a GUI for reviewing floppy disk stuff. Got it on? Have fun? All right. But yeah, and trying to go against the install instructions. Using Docker is a big deal. But that's not going against the install directions for the record. Hold on. Building Fluxengine software. Okay. Windows and Linux and other Unixes build by just doing make. That's it. CLI, pretty basic libusb stuff, support Fluxengines. You need to install some packages for Linux, see the Docker files. These are the source of truth for dependencies and known build script. See, they're not saying you have to use Docker. This is probably just how they do their continuous integration nonsense in the GitHub Actions here. I'm guessing, yeah, this. So that's the reason they have that. They're specifically saying use that to determine what you need, and then Linux and Windows users just run make. So, yeah, I am not that off the beaten path here. Anything like that for CD-ROMs? No. Also, there's no reason to have a visualization for CD-ROMs. It's just not relevant. LDD code, I mean, really the only thing you would look at in LDD code is whether it's CAV or CLV. And if you just pick it up and go, yep, it's that one, it's not like it's that difficult. All right. And now Fluxengine GUI. Boom. Hey! Once we just tell it no other languages exist, it works. Boom! Problem solved. English is the center of the universe, and we have no further requirements. Okay, now let's see what we can do. Home, floppy, TurboTax. This is Fluxy. Okay, no bytes selected. What do you mean bytes? How do I see fun stuff? View. Okay. Physical sector map? Whoa. View logical sector. Nope. Okay, let's go look at this again. Disk visualizer. View. Disk visualizer. Okay, but like, visualize it? Why no visualize? Wait, it literally opened that as a hex file, not as flux. What? File, import, open, load disk image. Okay. That's not how I thought this would go, but okay. Floppy, TurboTax. Okay. Filter. Nope, there's nothing there. Fluxengine, unrecognized flux file name. Okay, this is gonna be fun. I will say this. I actually like the idea of having the hex editor built in. I think that's pretty sweet. So just basing it on imhex kind of makes sense in a way. Now, I would like to know how to actually use it, though. Let's just go. Let's read words, all right? Rather than just fumble around and complain, let's actually read. Okay. Frequently asked questions, but why? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. If it can't do CryoFlux raw, I'm out. That, like, just straight up. I don't remember exactly what Fluxengine would do before. I think they have their own file type. I don't remember exactly. Did they use SCP more? I don't remember. Okay, why not just, oh, this is too, no. Okay, let's not. No, that's not, using. Does this still do? That's the old software. Yeah, that was what I was wondering. Can you still do view file systems? It's like, I don't see how here. Yeah, if it's just SCP, then that's not going to be helpful for me, unfortunately. Okay, let's read. Okay. This is past my whimsical threshold. I'm sorry. Hmm. Well, it didn't cost them any time to use the Unicode emojis, but like it's not immediately obvious what it means. That's all. All right, let's try this a different way. Downloads 3.5 720K disk. Okay. Okay. Wait, can MHEX do IPS patching now? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Kind of jealous of their drive case. Feel like this is going to be the old software. That's console. MHEX had IPS patching for a long time. MHEX. Let's just whatever. Sure. File import.
Oh, 90S subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 15 months. End of line.
This isn't even a particularly up-to-date version. Did not realize that. Okay. Well, that'll make ROM hacks a lot easier to do. Anyway, Neo Dragon, thank you for the tier 1 sub there and for 50 months. I appreciate that. That's such a long time. Thank you. So there's Flux files, including Zone, Supercard Pro, and the CryoFlux. Flux will typically, okay. Where are you seeing that? Zephyr, Flux, something, doohickey. It's not on this page. Hold on, let's just search. I mean, I can't search Flux because it's all over the whole thing. Okay. I've written encoder, decoder based on CryoFlux, other dumps I found. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. Wait, is this the... That's the non-GUI. Yeah, this is all talking about the CLI only. GUI itself is self-explanatory. Really? Okay, how do I import a Flux file? Because it's not import. It's not disk. That's all imhex. Like that. There's some stuff that's going to be just like completely excessive because this is imhex. Who needs a GUI anyway? Well, the kind who wants to be able to see Flux data. Like that's actually really legitimately useful. Like the Day Glorious Cow is able to import just CryoFlux stuff into FluxFox. Oh my gosh, I will be switching that into a heartbeat. Not that there's like anything wrong with HXC, but it's so much more readable on that. Drag and drop, no, because it imported, it's just a hex editor, so it reads the track file as a hex file. That's what this is. I don't like how this doesn't have any file type options. And there's always warning kind of stuff with C projects. I don't know if this could be related, but yeah, warnings are just like, especially when you're building a whole other project as part of it, I'm not surprised. I really like the idea of this software. I'm kind of hoping we can figure it out though, because it would be nice. What are you having a hard time with respect to FluxFox? Only that it's PC only, that's it. So this is what I'm talking about, for the record. Look at that. That's phenomenal. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But last I looked, at least, FluxFox is not designed to be a general purpose disk image conversion library. Well, that's not necessarily what I was looking at. But recently gained initial support for Amiga. Oh, okay, so that's new. Okay, primary focus has been PC platform. Yeah, so this is new. I don't know when that got added. However, this is MFM. That's custom GCR, so that's something, and that's MFM. So I don't know if there's an FM decoder. We're getting closer, because that is the downside. Obviously, it's not going to work for stuff like data general disks, because that's unique. It has to have a custom decoder. It would be really cool if this could be backed by the Greaseweasel software for the decoders instead, but, you know, different goals here, written in Rust. So, well, yeah. Well, GUI might be more in development. Well, this is why I thought like now is a good time to get into it. As of 8 months ago, there's a new GUI. I was hoping that would mean it was a little more mature. I'm not against the CLI being built into imhex and that this is how you would operate on the files. I'm not against that if that's how it ends up working. So if there's like a CLI window in here for this, that would be cool. But we still have to figure out how to get it to like recognize a file system. So far, we're not doing any fluxing FlareSpire because I cannot get the Fluxengine to understand a disk image. There's got to be a way. I mean, they have like Fluxengine configuration. Okay, where is this? View Fluxengine configuration. Maybe this is the problem. Okay, let's get rid of this. That's not quite what I wanted. View text editor. Okay, can I just close the file though? File, open other, open file. Okay, let's open this. Switch to that, close this. Okay, so this is a 3.5-inch 720K disc. Flux unrecognized flux file name unset. Flux file. But what is that? I'm trying to work with a, does it only work? I mean,
A form that insects
all right.
has CORGO 1018 months. There are precious few open source programs actively developed for 8 years which can be considered in any way mature. End of line.
Form, thank you for 101 bits. I would consider a lot of good open source projects out there. I'm not going to say that. I mean, literally my entire workflow is based on open source software. So use the Flux file button. Well, that's okay. Floppy, TurboTax. Okay, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to reselect that, see if that just does what I just did. Yeah, that populates that. 80 track. Okay. Fluxengine controls. Okay, we need that. View Fluxengine controls. Put her down here. Okay. Unrecognized. Okay, we're getting closer. This was actually Atari ST. Probably that. No, that was IBM. That was IBM. IBM PC, 720K. Oh, 5 1/4? What? No. Load disk image. I don't know that that's what this is. Yeah. I think we're setting our device to a Flux file. We're setting the Flux file here. And then this is probably ignored. This should also be ignored. So we're saying we're reading from the device. This. And you'll see down here, Fluxengine unrecognized Flux file name, something or another there. I think that means it wants a SuperCard profile. Let's just test it. See. GW convert track 00.0.raw to test.scp. Boom, that's the problem. Okay. So CryoFlux not supported. The thing is I'm never really sure which file format is superior. I think it doesn't matter. Generally, I have preferred CryoFlux, though. I'm pretty sure it's down to only CryoFlux or SuperCard Pro. I don't remember. I don't know if there's a reason to not use SuperCard Pro. So let's just, for kicks, 36 megabytes versus 18.2. So why is that twice as big? Yeah, Raspel, that's never actually done anything, though. That doesn't matter. Yeah, but Paul Guy, what is the SuperCard Pro format storing then that the CryoFlux format does not? Because that's the only thing I want. I don't want it to, I mean, like, it can't store a decoded format in the same thing. I don't want it to, if that's one of the things that it does. CP versus pack frames is one of the most brain rot, society is screwed things I've ever seen recommended. Anyway, there is no Grease Weasel file format. I don't think you've been able to buy a SuperCard Pro for years. SuperCard Pro. Or maybe you can get one today. Maybe I'm completely wrong. No, advanced version coming soon. URL excluded from viewing? I think this is ancient, yeah. This is not true. Go CryoFlux. SCP is closed. In my experience, SCP is nice. CryoFlux is a pain. So much opinions and misinformation. Yeah, Helen Croft for sure. I don't know why you would do it on your, like, product page. 2017 makes you feel, it's not necessarily that page is, you know, old. It's that the information should be newer, more up to date than that. Like, I would consider a page that's 5 years ago ancient in this space. Like, how old is the Grease Weasel repo at all? They make it, wow, the last commit was 4 months ago? Really? Wow. Huh. I mean, it's pretty darn stable software at this point, so. They don't make it easy to just go back to the first. I would always forget that. Summarizes some of this hobby? Yeah, no kidding. Old computers suck. Sell them all. Take up astronomy. Oh my gosh, you want me to trade one money pit for another? Come on. Matter of fact, I don't think that you could with a straight face say that the astronomy people are any better than the old computer people for opinions and misinformation. They're probably way worse. They're also much more eager to dump good money after bad. Anyway. Dogscope has not entered the chat. Like, see, the fact that we can find information like this from 12 years ago, before the Grease Weasel exists, is like... You picked an equally obtuse hobby? Yeah. I wouldn't say it's obtuse. The problem with that, you know, I will just not even go into it. It's just not worth it. I don't think there's a reason to prefer one or the other over the other. I'm not aware of one anyway. No, go into it. It's really not that exciting. It's mostly just that astrophoto people tend to just computerize their scopes to the point where they're not actually doing anything. So they just keep throwing money at it until the hobby is automated, and at that point, just go look at NASA's pictures. If you aren't putting effort in, what's the point? Well, Redshift, part of that is just the community aspect of it. Oh, that's hilarious, Endora Fox. Man, I really wish I could find, like, any kind of empirical information on this. HFE is potentially also valid. I wonder if this supports HFE. Although I think there was a reason not to do HFE. I don't remember. Bitrate to be specified. Yeah. I think it was that there was like a different version or something. Well, let's see if this can read HFE. That's hilarious, Flare Spire. Okay, HFE, read from device. Okay, it can't do HFE. So it's exclusively Supercard Pro. Okay. Also, this is not showing written versus empty data, and it's kind of essentially just showing what a ideal disk image would look like. Like, I should actually be able to screw with this, have that be completely wrong, and then, no, oh, well, the HFE, that part, that's fair. Read this. Okay, so if I screw that up, it still works. That's fine. Okay. Because that should be true. So that, irrespective of what I set over here, okay, well, this may use a different decoding format. So maybe if I set this to Macintosh, because that would not be, okay, because that's not GCR. So, okay, that makes sense. I like that. So then I'm going to guess Atari ST will work because that's MFM, almost FAT12. Okay. So that part makes sense. HP LIF. Invalid. Values, what? It's missing a default. Interesting. Let's go with that. Yeah, that was MFM. Okay. So this is actual flux data. You're indirectly picking your decoder over here. AS Lanyard, huh? That's interesting. What? What AES device were they testing against? I believe that will be FM, no matter what it is. That FluxFox image look better? Yes. I mean, yeah, FluxFox has one job though, so like, it's not quite fair. If you buy a Pauline, you can use HXC to rip floppies, and then you can have all of it integrated into one tool, I think. Or is the Pauline a drive emulator? I can't remember. Anyway, let's just pretend like that, okay? HXC would be the only tool that currently exists that can do all of that. If Fluxengine can do that, either with the Fluxengine hardware or with the Fluxengine hardware and the Grease Weasel and maybe the applesauce, that'd be pretty darn sweet. That would be legitimately useful, even if the image flux viewer isn't as good as HXC's. Time can potentially fix that. Maybe they can ditch this one and integrate FluxFox. I don't know, because this is C-ish, and FluxFox is C-ish. So in theory, maybe. Or at the very least, it could be a plugin. I don't know exactly how extensible ImHex is. I'm going to guess pretty extensible based on this. Well, I was curious to try and use this for actually reading discs today. I don't think we're going to do that. I would only want to read discs that I don't need to read with it in its current state, because it's a little weird. Not being able to put data in the format that I prefer also kind of hurts. This should probably go down here, actually. This is not even what we have loaded. Matter of fact, we could just close all of that. So really it boils down to this. Oh, yeah, is there a file browser at all? I don't think so. Okay, well, this is different. Fluxbox has working web version, takes zipped cryoflux dumps. Cool, that's cool. This seems trivial at first until you consider something like, well, they don't actually have any H-I-J-K, no K-pros. I was going to say something, oh, how do you add, This is where the HXC ideology of directly providing the encoder format is superior. Because now I want to say view a KPro 4 disk on here. This doesn't support KPro 4. I have to try and figure out a different machine that supports the same kind of encoder now. And KPro CPM weirdness could possibly, in theory, actually, yeah. How would I, for a S100 CPM computer, get mixed decoding for FM and MFM? I think this is just not the play, unfortunately, right now. I really hope this software continues. Recompile it with KPro profile? What do you mean? What? Oh, you're saying add, oh yeah, that. Add a KPro profile. Yes. But do any of these do, like TRS-80 doesn't exist. Man. I was just trying to think of maybe North Star could do single side, single density, and double density. Okay, so this may be FM and MFM. Write your own? Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to do that with Greaseweasel, but it's a little more different when you tell me I got to recompile the software every time. I don't know what their definitions are like or where they're stored or any of that stuff. I think we found them in here. Source, formats. So let's just look at, say, North Star. Encoder North Star. Okay. Victor 9K. What's something that could be mixed encoding? And bundle files might have user directory too. So Paul Guy, that makes it sound like it might try to integrate a decoded disk image into the raw flux. Encoder Victor 9K. Okay, that's not helpful. Let's look at IBM. Is this IBM encoder? Is the encoder defined within this? Encoder IBM. How does that work? Target clock rate. It's not quite it. SCP not being able to store hard sector disks. Well, first off, that they're doing hard sector stuff here, but I don't know. That's definitely the kind of thing that I would have been paying attention to with the Micronova having hard sectored floppies to begin with. So that could be why I standardized on CryoFlux, because I know I've researched this before, but I just forgot why. And I could see it being one weird thing like that. Yeah, I know the encoders are somewhere else in the code, but I'm not understanding why every single machine has its own encoder. So like Atari ST, in theory, should use the IBM encoder. Okay, it does. But IBM is just MFM. So Commodore should be unique as far as I'm aware. And it's probably different for every single machine because they're... Wait, decoder IBM? Or is that Amiga? I think that's the weird PC one. That's not quite the same. Would not be surprised if the brother whatever... Well, HP Lift, let's look at that. I'm going to guess this is IBM. Type Lift. Yes, encoder IBM. Okay, so the naming is a little strange. Well, IBM can also be FM, yes, if you're talking about the 3270, whatever the 8-inch format is. PC, I don't think, ever had that. My hair is extra itchy because I got rained on. All right, well... I think what I've learned is that this is not going into my current tool set at the moment. I will check in later after it receives more updates. The rain in the hair, yeah. And we'll see if it can better match what I'm looking for later. Also, I feel like they did get rid of the file browsing, right? I'm not crazy. That's just gone. $360K IBM floppies are FM? No. Those are MFM. Hold on. Yeah, all PC-DOS formats are MFM. Yeah. Yeah. No, they're MFM. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure that the PC floppy controller can do FM. Well, yeah, it can. It's just not actually used. Maybe the 160? I don't know. Sure, we can try the web one. I would just run the local software, though. I wouldn't actually use the web thing. I assume I just drag and drop. I feel a little bad uploading like a whole... Well, it's going to GitHub, screw 'em. Okay. You wrote the decoder? I don't know what to tell you. They're MFM. Yeah, I could see the 160K and stuff being FM, but yeah, no, 360Ks, I guarantee you MFM. Let's see, TurboTax. Let's just zip this, actions, compress, zip. Near FM. All right. IBM PC-DOS 3.2. 500 or 360K thing. GW clean drive B. I just want to make sure. Okay. Drive A. Okay. I'm putting this in archiving drive. mkdir IBM CD IBM GW read drive A track 00.0.raw. We'll see what it is. All right, while that's going, let's drop TurboTax here and see what we get. Look at that. Okay. Ooh, okay, that is pretty darn fancy. Yeah, I think it'd be better off spending some time compiling this locally. Man, this is good. Oh, so good. Oh, you can rotate it. Now we need a microphone, 2 open air floppy drives. Can you zoom in? Maybe. The way that they have this set up, whoa. I don't know what I did. Now it's gone. Bye. No, I did a thing and now just, okay, here it is. It's like window based. It's kind of weird. So probably, but. Okay, I need to stop that. All right, hold on one moment. HXC flop CD bin ls CD HXC. No, where is it? HXC floppy emulator. And then home. IBM. Boop. Track analyzer. Oh, that's such a good floppy drive. Oh my gosh, crazy. And MFM encoding. So there you go. It's MFM. Yeah. So I can get rid of FM and Amiga MFM, only decoding MFM. Boom. There's FM, nothing. What flop are you looking at? I got no clue. Yeah, they're MFM. All right, let me go reshelve this. I think we're going to download and compile Fluxfox. Maybe. I don't know. We don't have a lot of time left. No static at all. Yeah, it's possible you have a 320, but that would be weird. I have the basic like 1.0 disc or whatever over there. I don't know if that's a 320, but FluxFox has file browser? Really? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. Files, it's right there. Wow. We're definitely not opening any of the people's like tax files, but dang. Okay. I mean, again, that's part I would expect that because it was specific to PC stuff to begin with. Okay. What if image, what if we just drag and drop one of the Mac disks? Hold on. I want to see what this looks like. So if we do, what is it, Apple Macintosh? Where is it? Where's the stuff I downloaded? Where did I put it? Oh, I think it was home, computer, no, or computers, Apple, Mac. Okay, let's put this here. Okay. Unknown disk image format. You're the one who told me image was supported right there. How do I tell it it's a Mac thing? Platform features enabled Apple Macintosh. Refresh page. I don't think that's going to do it. No. Options. Archive format. Zip or tar. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I don't know why it doesn't. Is that for downloading? Did you have test SCP? No, that wasn't the SCP either. That was, oh my gosh, we'll even open it. Wow. I had to put the file in the zip because CryoFlux RAWs are multiple files because they're one file per track. You don't have to zip an other file. No, it's just raw binary data. And I know that because I wrote it to a disk with Grease Weasel as raw binary data. It's an 800K image of an 800K disk. I mean, in theory, it shouldn't be able, at the best it could do is decode the file system. Which is what I was curious to see. It should not have a floppy format. I don't know if a PC IMG would have anything. Let's try that. Downloads. Microsoft DOS, so it's a 3.5 720. IMZ though. What was that? Wait, what did it detect? IMZ? What? Hold on, get out of here. Wait, what? DOS shell.img. Okay, where did I see IMZ? I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, so that it detected, this is fake. That's not real. We don't have actual flux data. Kind of cool that it synthesizes that. Convert the Macs to flux and try it out. I mean, I guess we could. That's, I guess. GW convert system tools 1.img to, I guess, track 00 or 00.0 raw format. I feel like it doesn't let you do this, but we'll see. Mac 800. No, it does. Okay. Sure. Compress zip. No disk loaded. That. Oh, come on. You don't have to have it be white just because applesauce does. Give us pretty colors. Come on. Disk format unknown. Okay, well, in that case, I find it impressive it's just showing us raw flux transition data rather than trying to decode it and then show all the other stuff. So if that's what that is, okay, white's fine. IBM only used FM on early 8-inch discs. Well, on early ones, yes, that would be true. The 37 or 3270, whatever the 8-inch format that the early ones was FM. That's true. But it did add FM to 8-inch. Oh, that sucks, Philip. Okay, hold on. Check layer menu. What's layer? Oh, this. Layers. Error layer, weak layer, metadata layer, data layer. I don't think we got any of that because it over here it says disk format unknown. I don't I don't see a way of specifying a disk format on this. I don't know if the desktop version would be more capable of doing that. Fox. Okay, let's go ahead and compile the software. Those releases are not actually the the program. Oh wait, here we go. So current decoding, I saw it. Where'd it go? It was just GCR. Okay, disk encodings, MFM, FM, and GCR. Okay, GCR is kind of weird. So I assume they mean Mac GCR, because as far as I understand, it's slightly different between them. $34.70. Okay. Track is all saying it is using MFM tracks as usual GCR. Oh. Data. Well, I don't know about that. Let's grab the code, try and compile it, see what we get in the last 5 minutes. Git clone. Oh, it's big. Okay. FluxFox. Oh, never mind. I'm out. Nope. There's no makefile, and I don't know Rust. So we're not touching that. Nope, never mind. I'll look and see if there is a thing here that says anything at all about how to compile it. Yeah. Oh, wait, we got fancy menu. Nope. Is there a building? Nope. Okay. Out. Rust is easy? No, I don't care. Rust is not 4 minutes easy. Yeah, no, we're not even doing it. Nope, I refuse. All right. I am not. No. No. We got what we needed out of it. We can mess with that later. If you guys really want, we can mess with that tomorrow. I was going to image the Atari ST discs I have, but it turns out I only have like one real Atari ST disc. I did not realize that. So that was less exciting than I thought. And it's definitely not going to be what I was hoping for. So, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and take a picture of this. That way I can have disappointing news. You don't know until you try. You're correct. I won't know until I try it. But you know what I will know if I don't try? That I can end the stream in a reasonable amount of time. So, yeah. It will take over 5 minutes for sure. See, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, I am not trying, because it's going to be, oh, you just need to install this one little module. So, yeah, no, we're not doing that. All right, though. That means it's time to end the stream. I mean, 6-hour streams aren't my jam. I'm not against longer streams. It's just not what I schedule here. So I am against deviating from the schedule. Having a schedule does a lot of things, and I much prefer that. So, all right. Yeah. With that, though, I think we're done. So I guess today we learned foot switch. Excellent. Good thing.
Says CHEER 100 longer streams needs piz. End of line.
And on that, it's time to wrap this up. Oh man, all right. It's outro time. Oh man. All right, well, yeah, I will check back in on Fluxengine later. When foot switch for outro, I have had that is a bad idea because I will just bump it. I already have a real nice way of starting the outro. It's actually intentionally hidden behind other menus, so I can't just do it by accident. Foot switch would be a terrible idea. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so all right, that's it for today. I don't really have a solid plan for what we're doing for the rest of the week.
128.UP telephony. IP your dot.
Yeah. Indoor Fox, thank you for the 128 bits. Anyway, not sure exactly what the rest of the weekend's going to be for streams, but we'll find out. If you want to be here to see what they are with me, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get one of the shirts like I started the stream with. But that's it for now, and I will see you next time.